This is by far the craziest thing that has ever happened to me. Hey everybody, my name's Charles, and this is what it feels like to go viral. That's so bizarre to say. So if you haven't seen already, in the last couple of weeks, I've had a few videos kind of blow up, I guess. It all started with one that you may have seen, this video of me playing the piano to Cardi B talking on an Instagram post.
None of you bitches got these exclusive Swisher Sweets up.
Yeah, so it's completely ridiculous and it's absolute nonsense, but it's a ton of fun and it was a ton of fun to make. And I guess people liked it because Cardi B retweeted it. Snoop Dogg reposted it on Instagram. Yeah, that sort of started this whole, steamrolling that has been the craziest couple weeks of my entire life. So I wanted to kind of just, I guess, make a video and talk about what this whole thing has been like for somebody who has not been a content creator, definitely professionally. But as you probably noticed, I'm a piano player. I went to school for music. For the most part, I've made my living as a jazz musician, just playing gigs, teaching private students, that sort of stuff. This was sort of completely unexpected and just kind of hit me in the face all at once. And so I thought for anybody that's curious, I'd just sort of jot down some of my thoughts and feelings that I've been having over these last couple weeks. I mean, first of all, it's just incredible. And I cannot possibly express how grateful I am to all of you who have seen my content and anybody who has, followed me on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube and has enjoyed my content. I mean, that as an artist and as a musician, all we're ever after is to give people something that they can appreciate or that brings them some sort of joy in some way. So to know that my content has done that for so many of you, I'm just blown away by that. And I cannot possibly thank you enough for your support. So obviously it's been crazy to watch this all happen, but what's funny about it is that it's kind of surreal in a way because everything's happening either on the computer or in my phone, and there hasn't really been a tangible crossover into my real life yet. Because and I've had brands reach out to me and I've had opportunities to do sponsorships and things like that, but all of that has still been stuck in kind of the digital phase where it's just correspondence at this point. So there's almost like no reference point in real life. Nobody's recognized me on the street. Like, it's almost like you could imagine a planet where it's just not real. So that's been really interesting. And just to give you an idea, I mean, the Cardi B video alone, I can't possibly keep track of all the different places it's been posted, but the last time I kind of tried to round up all the different instances that I knew about and add them up, I think the video has over 15 million views. And between a lot of the other videos that I've posted since, some have done really well. I'm pretty sure that my videos have been viewed like over 20 million times across probably 5 platforms. That's unbelievable. I can't even wrap my head around that number. It's not necessarily unique viewers. I'm sure many people are watching multiple videos, but still, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. So the scale of this thing has been wild. I mean, when I posted the first singing Trump tweet video just for fun, I had 250 followers. That was in the beginning of May, and here it is towards the end of May. And my Instagram is at like 126,000 followers or something like that. I got verified on Instagram. I don't even know. Yesterday, Twitter went from 7,000 to over 50,000 followers. YouTube went from 7,000 to over 10,000 subscribers yesterday. Like, this stuff is, Sam, if I wasn't even, I wouldn't.
If I wasn't even, I wouldn't, or couldn't, or shouldn't.
TikTok is kind of where everything started in terms of picking up steam because somebody grabbed the video from TikTok and posted it on Twitter. And that's how it all happened. It's just, it's very hard to fathom what that number means. So here's just a couple of, I guess, feelings that I've had. Number one, sheer terror. I mean, it's scary to all of a sudden have millions of people seeing your content, seeing your face, seeing your, and especially what I'm doing. I mean, it's so close, it's so personal, so close to me because it's either my voice, my singing, or it's my piano playing, things that I've worked years and years and years to try to hone and craft. And now you're up for other people's judgment and they get to decide whether or not they think it's good. And I've been so fortunate to have the vast majority, I mean, 99.9% of people love it. Again, I'll probably say it a million times, but I'm so thankful to all of you for that, because I mean, this has been my life's work. Not necessarily playing piano to Cardi, but playing the piano and singing and music, learning music, being a student of the music, and trying to make the best music I possibly can. That has been my life's work. And so to have people recognize the effort that I've put into that means so much to me. And I don't think I'll ever be able to possibly put that into words. So yeah, terror, that's number one. And then, you know, it's a really unfortunate thing, but negativity will always be louder than positivity in our minds. Meaning I can get 500 comments saying that something is incredible, but one person that says it sucks. When you're not used to that, like, you feel it. I mean, it hits you right here. And it makes you, for a brief moment, it makes you just think about, maybe they're right. Maybe this whole thing is stupid. Maybe I'm going to be worthless tomorrow. Maybe you listen to it and it's dumb because you shouldn't. And I know that. And I know that those feelings aren't based in anything, because so many people have just been outpouring support. But I'm not used to any of this. And that is something that I'm going to have to get used to. And I know it's going to happen. And I know people are not going to like me. They're not going to like my stuff for whatever reason. You know, sometimes it's just taste. Sometimes they honestly don't like it. And I'll never, I guess, understand why people go out of their way to tell somebody. I mean, I know it's attention, but you know, and then of course there's people that are trolls. Of course there's people that are going to comment negativity because of something that you highlighted in your content, whether or not it has anything to do with that. That's an interesting feeling, and I'm gonna have to get used to that, because you don't want to give those comments any sort of weight. But it's really hard when you're not used to the attention and you're not used to people judging your creations. Obviously, excitement is a big one too. It's exciting because all of a sudden I feel like there's so many doors that have just been opened for ways that I can continue to create, and ways that I can, you know, work with different creators and maybe try to make a living at doing something like this, with working with brands and things like that. And along with that comes concern, because while I, of course, want to be able to make a living and create content that people enjoy, I'm very, very sensitive to how that can be a touchy thing. And the one thing that I always want to be is respectful of my audience's attention. And what I mean by that is, you have chosen to take time out of your day to see something that I've created. And I believe that I have a tremendous responsibility because of that to make sure that your time was not wasted. If I'm going to try to make a living doing this, I have to make sure that I do it in a way where I can help brands that want to take advantage of the attention that I do have, while not insulting your focus and your attention, and trying to at the same time give you something that is entertaining, even if it is something done for a brand or for a sponsorship that allows me to continue to create and make a living so that I can do this and try to provide content for you guys that you enjoy. So I have not worked with any brands yet, but know that no matter what, my first and foremost concern is always going to be focused on respecting your attention and the fact that you've been gracious enough to give me your eyes for a few minutes or just for a few seconds to check out something I made. I'm always going to have underlying feelings of like, what am I getting myself into? You know, a little bit of fear just sheerly about having this much attention and having this number of people following my content. That's a big responsibility, it feels like. And I've been thrust into it pretty quickly. I've thought about this for a long time, and my dream for a long time has been able to just build enough of a following where I could make content that's important to me, that people enjoy, and make a living at it. So this has been my dream, and make no mistake, it looks like it happened overnight. I've been working on this for years. I haven't been working on it in the same context as a lot of other people. For example, a YouTuber I really love and respect, Gus Johnson. He just recently hit 1 million subscribers on his channel. Congratulations to him, because that's amazing. I adore his content. And he made a video it was such an amazing, heartfelt video where he basically just thanked so many people that were involved in making that happen. And he's an example of somebody that has spent years just chipping away at the same channel, making a similar, thematically a similar type of content. And it's just, he's been just grinding away and grinding away. And for me, I haven't been doing that in regards to like one channel where I've just been working on building and building and building and consistently creating content in that same manner. But what I have been doing over the years, I've made all types of different content. And there are probably 170 or 180 videos on this very YouTube channel that are not public and probably never will be, because it was just me trying something, whether it was vlogging or moto vlog, like just all types of different things that I was interested in. I had seen content and I became interested in a particular creator, or I was like, I'd love to try that. Tried my hand at it and went, it's not the right combination of things. Tried it for a bit and then eventually moved on to something else. So the majority of my content creation background hasn't been chipping away at one channel, but rather it's been more figuring out, okay, what's going to be the right combination of the things that I know how to do, combining my interests with something that people might enjoy. And it's just taken till now to find that right formula that ultimately results in, I guess, what has happened. So if you are creating content or you're trying to get a foothold in the content creation world, don't take my example and say, well, that was luck. It happened overnight. Of course it was luck. And it looks like it happened overnight. But I definitely have been trying different things for years, hoping that maybe I'd find the right combination of things to find a little bit of success. So there's two approaches to that. Number one, you can do what Gus did and just keep going. That's super important. Just keep going. The other option is you should never be afraid to take a step back and look at what you're doing and say, how can I do this better? Or how can I completely change and move on to a new idea? You should never be afraid to just, okay, I'm going to try something new now. That's how I approached it, and it took a lot of tries to find this. And lastly, something that I think a lot of people that have viral content face, which is shelf life. I knew from the get-go when this thing blew, I was like, okay, now you're gonna have to figure out how to give people something that's gonna keep them, because you're gonna get a lot of people that will follow just on impulse, but aren't really interested in you or your work. Right? So I had that conversation with myself, and I'm still having that conversation with myself. But it's something that I'm constantly thinking of how I'm going to address and how I'm going to work on. So for example, I just released the first part of a series I thought of called Florida Man. I've always loved the memes of the Florida Man headlines. And so I just figured, well, why don't I take that and apply it to kind of what I've been doing? Make songs out of them. They'd probably be fun. It's an opportunity for me to sing, maybe make music that sounds good, but that's completely ridiculous and nonsensical and just a good time. I'm trying to come up with ways that I can diversify my content and that I can create some sort of staying power, even if it's just within a small group of people that have found me through all this viral stuff, who are down to stay and hang and be around for the new stuff as I come up with new concepts and try new content ideas. And not everything's gonna be a banger. Not everything's gonna go viral, and I know that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But if I am able to give you content that is fun, that brings some sort of joy and positivity to your day, that's all I can possibly ask for. And if I can make a living doing that, like, cool. But the biggest thing before I wrap this video up, because it's already way too long, I want very publicly and very definitively to state that my message and my mission with anything I create is always to make people laugh, give people something positive, something that might bring joy to your day, even just a little bit. There's a lot of negativity in the media, in the world. It doesn't mean that there's not things that are well-founded and that we should be fighting for, but I feel that with what I'm able to do and what I've spent my life learning how to do in regards to music, I want to use that as a way to bring people joy and add more positivity to the world rather than add negativity. Even if my content sometimes focuses on a subject matter that has negativity involved in it, my spin is always going to try to be positive. All I care about is giving you something that might be a small bright spot in your day. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything and all of the support that you guys have shown me in the last few weeks. And I'm very, very serious about taking the responsibility seriously and continuing to do my best to give you content that you enjoy and that you can get something positive out of. So that's it. That's what it feels like to go viral, I guess. I'm still figuring it out, so I don't even know. But if you have any questions, please comment below. If you're new here and you'd like to subscribe and follow my content, please do so. I'd very much appreciate it. I'm going to make more long-form content talking about how I go about making these videos, maybe more about music if you're interested in that. Let me know what you're interested in hearing, because I'm happy to talk about my process. I'm happy to talk about music. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.